Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the second men's match of the day. Kcca against Ndejje Volleyball Club or Ndejje Elites. It will be an interesting match. Kcca this season, they've showed a lot of consistency in their wins. It is one team that has quite gained momentum in showing the way how they've been playing. The additions they've had on the team this season have been tremendous. We've seen Carlos, we've seen Nabanji, very, very good and excellent libero. We've seen a new center player being added on. We've seen Odeke Vicent as the other player who has come in. We've seen Elijah, quite a number of new faces in the Kcca side, and the faces that have always been eager to win. They've transferred their potential of winning and that winning mentality to the Kcca side, and this time around Kcca has really shown that they are ready to fight and perhaps make it for playoffs. It has been so long since they last made their move. Good, they are playing the playoffs, but right now and this season, I think they are in contention for that playoffs position. And these players look mentally strong and very ready to take on the playoffs challenge. On the Ndejje side, we see Roni, who's back from the break he had taken off for his studies, and the experience of Emma Kato and the other young players that they managed to bring in. We've seen a step up from some of the young players, especially the center blocker who has been playing well this season. That is Martin. He has really stepped up in his game. He has improved his game, and he's showing that this season he's ready to take on the challenge and perhaps also be one of the players who can lead Ndejje to the playoff zone. In this period where we are for the season, very, very many teams will be fighting to make it for playoffs, and it is the target for most of the teams before they even look at the contention for the title. They always want to make it for playoffs, and these two teams are one of those teams that actually the two of those teams that are fighting for that position. Looking through how they've been playing, Ndejje trying to catch up with the points in the table, and Kcca actually standing in a better position on that table. So let's see what they can really do for this game. Who will want it more? Who will fight more? Who really needs the game more? And hopefully you enjoy it wherever you are. We have very many people watching from very, very many different places. Right here in Kampala, it is 5:37 p.m. Wherever you are, we have people watching from USA, people watching in from Kenya, people watching in from Rwanda, and people watching in actually around Uganda in different cities and different societies. Wherever you are watching in, please keep tuned in, send in your comments wherever you need to send in, support your teams both online and physically, those who are here and those who are not here. And we hope you really have a great game today. Shamira.
I am very much available, ladies and gentlemen, and Malik has said most of the things. It's going to be an exciting match. Kcca, of course, having a good run. They've had several wins. They defeated UCU. They beat KVC. Uh, they've just had a good run in their past games. They beat Elion as well 3-0. So this is going to be an exciting game. We saw Ndejje really having a beautiful match against Nemo Stars, but they lost it 3-2. But you could see in that game that they had come for maximum points, even if they are only able to go away with one. But I think Ndejje is also a very good team. It's not a side that you can mess around with. So I think it's going to be an exciting game between these two sides, both of them looking for points, both of them looking for 3 points away from this match. But it's a wonderful evening, and I think we are going to enjoy ourselves. Those guys online, please, we are here waiting for you. Get on, let's enjoy the game.
Yeah, let's enjoy the game. And there are players really to look out for, especially the players we hope to be outstanding in this game. Well, we are excited to see the likes of Carlos, who's on the KCCA side. I think he's one of the players who actually gives the challenge to any opponent that he meets around. And on the other side, we see the likes of Fairuz. He has been one of those outstanding players for Ndejje. Will he keep pushing this Ndejje team through? And also the likes of Martin. Martin has been playing so well with a very good defense and offensive play. And these are some of the players that we really hope to look out for and see how do they perform in this kind of fixture. Today we see on the Ndejje side, on the featuring squad, we have Wafula Kevin, we have Martin, we have Posiano, we have Ronald Adupa, we have Fairuz, we have Choncho Ebo, we have Emma Kato, John Joel, Mwine Gift, Komakech. Komakech is one of the players that has actually been doing great in that opposite position. He has been introduced to that position this year fully, and he is very tall, and he's scoring a lot. He's giving them the defense. So he's one of the players that has made Ndejje team step up. We have Chitosi Ronald, and we have Albino. Then we have there are two liberos, that is Happy and Kampa. Then we have Coach Ronnie. He's now a coach player. He's the head coach of the Ndejje Elites team, being assisted by Waguma Sadat and then Vincent. Likewise, on the KCCA side, we have the captain Mangen Ronald, then we have Elijah Cosmas, we have Waiswa, we have Mbago Abdul, then we have Chol Majok, we have Odeke Naftal, we have Odeke Vicent, then we have Omoding, we have Andrew Okare Nathan. Okare Nathan, he has actually not figured much for most of the KCCA matches, but he's one of those reliable center blockers. We have also Auma Karos, and then we have the experience of the Riberos, that is Nabanji Sharif, being assisted by Kalanzi Dinis. We have the coach, with the head coach there, that is Mugoda Alex, being assisted by Otim Emma and Kathy. So these are very good balanced squads, and this is a game that I am also really excited to watch and as well comment it. It is a very good game and well balanced game. Let's enjoy it together. And the starting lineups are up there. We see Chol starting the starting setter of Kcca, and then we see Waiswa. We see just the number 13, that is Omoding. Then we see Karos Auma, and we see Mugenyi Ronald on the starting side of the Kcca side. On the Ndejje side, yeah, the lineups are also out there, and we shall shortly be giving you the real lineups of those players on court shortly. We see jersey number 4, that is John Joel, being one of the starting setter on the Ndejje side. We see Martin, we see Fairuz, we see Komakech, and jersey number 8, that is and then Happy as the starting libero. And the scores are now at 1-1. That is a very, very nice swing from Carlos. He is yet to show us, and we see what he has really brought for this particular fixture. And then in the service zone, we have Waiswa bringing in the service. Serve for so many players, and right now he's on court. He's providing them with the reception and the cover. So he's literally, we see Ndejje is almost playing like with two liberos on court.
Yes, but that's a good serve. Happy takes it. Quick set through the middle, and Adupa gets it. Very fast swing. Kcca not able to get it on time. And yes, Kcca is getting hotter and hotter, and now extending their lead to 3 points with Ijongat in the service box there. And of course, I see champion Lillian Zawede talking about assisting on the camera or focus isn't good. But I think you can check on your YouTube as you're watching. Take a look at the settings, and you're able to change the quality that you're having there, because we've tried to check out the cameras, and we see that it is okay this side. So I think maybe you can get onto your YouTube, get to the settings, and go to advanced and change to a better quality on your side, and be able to watch very well.
I think yeah, you can actually send that to over 1080 or 4K pixels.
You're on, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can actually change that to maybe 1080 or 4K in terms of pixels, and you'll have a very, very clear view of the video. So try that, Lillian.
Yes, but Kcca once again extending their lead back to 3 points. They've had an impressive start, and we've not yet actually seen swings coming in from Carlos, but we know they will be able to get there.
Yeah, he's one of those players perhaps Kcca's side actually relies on so much. So whenever they are in a fix, they really look out for him.
Yes. Ijongat, oh, sorry,
Chol
on the service. Big, good catch from Brian.
Fairuz comes in with a hard swing there, but the blocker was not well set, and they are actually, the block seems to be so much off net, and he went through past that.
Yes, Fairuz is really going to enjoy himself this evening. He's that player they are going to go to anytime that ball gets to the setter's hands.
And we see it is just 8 or 10 points, but he's managed to score, I think, the biggest number of points on the Ndejje side.
Yes, but that's a beautiful play from Waiswa in position 2, and he's able to get that point. We see on the Kcca side as well. Yeah, it's actually basically their usual lineup that they tend to have most times, but Ronald, he tends to be the starting player. We see Elijah tends to come on from the bench.
Yeah,
and play on the blocking.
yeah. Nowadays we've seen Mugenyi Ronald. He has not been a little bit consistent in his play, and we've seen in many games the coach tending to actually substitute him, or he starts him, or he starts other people in that position. So I think as the captain, he really needs to find consistency in his play.
I was going to talk about that. I felt like he was trying to be a little consistent in the past 2 games, actually 3. In the game they played against Kcca, KVC,
Yeah,
the game they played against UCU. Yeah, those 2 games. But
perhaps he's finding rhythm and he's finding momentum for himself, because the play hasn't really been that play we hope to see from Mugenyi.
Yes, and Ndejje closing the gap here, forcing an overpass. The blockers are standing on that block, waiting patiently, and they send it back. And that is a good play from Abel.
Yeah, that is what you need most of your players to do, not to get excited and maybe attack the ball back or send it as a rebound attack and they end up netting. As simple as it was, as how Abel was managed to do it, that is what you perfectly need from players whenever they're on the net.
Yes, and Kcca once again getting that point for themselves from Fairuz.
And then we see Owen comes into service. He's one of those actually good servers who runs close to the end line and then passes the ball. A good service, very good pick from Happy, and that's a good swing from the middle by Martin. But the center block of Kcca couldn't be able to stop that. He was a little bit late to get up, and Martin got the ball from so high, so it was so hard to defend.
Yes, it was a quick set in the middle for him, and back on level, it's very hard to make a prediction for a game like this. The players are pushing each other on both sides. It's a tight game, and I think we could even go 5 sets here.
Yeah, like I said, this is a balanced team. These are balanced teams, and the fixture is a little bit balanced. So we are actually hoping to see a very, very good game this evening, because the teams tend to be having the same strength.
Yes, Ndejje taking the serve, coming in from Martin. He's a good server for his team. It's a good serve. Wise were just handling that very well. The setter goes to Ijongat. It's a dump. Setter now going to Mugenyi.
But that's a very, very wonderful killer block. But then the referee says the ball.
No, it's actually not a block. The ball went through.
Yeah.
Yes, it went through. It's a big swing. They were a bit late, but that ball just went through onto the other side.
That was a very fast swing.
Yeah, it was a very, very fast swing from Mugenyi Ronald. It was just too quick.
Yeah, it was very fast. I also really thought that ball was really blocked down. And good service from Carlos, but a very good pass from Abel. But then the play throughout the middle, it couldn't actually be executed.
Yes, I think Ndejje is trying to play very quick, but the connection between Adupa and John Joel, the setup, there's several struggles. They continue to struggle. We've seen this consistently happening in games. They are not connecting quite well. But that's a big service from Carlos. The setter goes to Fairuz. It's an off-system play, but he's able to grab that point off the hands and forces a block touch from the side of... that's a block touch from Ijongat. I think he hadn't fully committed on the ball.
Yeah, he was trying to remove his hands. Perhaps he was very, very late. He thought it would be a simple attack. But as you said, the Ndejje setter and the middle player... that is
Adupa.
They are trying to play actually a 3-ball, which is a very, very hard ball to play, because whenever you have to connect that ball, it is actually a distance far away from the setter. So
yes,
you need a lot of consistency to maintain the play of that ball.
Yes, but we saw Emma Kato coming onto the court, substituting Komakech, and I think this is a strategy for Ndejje to get in another attacker, a more experienced as well. But there is a net fault from them trying to block against Carlos, who is on the backcourt, and that's another addition for Kcca side, now continuing to push their lead once more.
Very good pass from Happy. Ebo is brought back down, but then it's
He chooses to go for the dump.
yeah.
The setter goes to Carlos. He covers himself up.
defense.
It's a free ball. Oh, Brian, this time he's able to get it. It's not even a big swing. He's just looking for that space there and puts the ball in the gap.
He goes for an off spin because the blockers really went up very, very early, and he manages to get an off spin off to the middle. The one covering 6, that was Mugenyi. He was a little bit far away to the end line of the court, and Ebo manages to get that easy point for Ndejje.
He's now on to the service, but that's a good catch from Sharif, the libero. The setter going for Carlos again, off the hands, and that is a point for Kcca. I think Ndejje also needs to see how they can shut him down, because when Carlos is up, it's going to be very difficult to bring him down.
Yeah, one good character about Carlos is that he's that one player who really defines what the opposite is. Whenever he's up there, I've literally seen him dump. I've rarely seen him dump so like a number of times. Most times he's up there in the skies. He really attacks that ball with energy, and he's really trying to score as much as he can, but by swinging very, very hard on the ball.
Yes, that's a beautiful swing from Waiswa. Ndejje keeps it alive. It's a free ball. Chance for Kcca. They take it again. This time he is shut down. That is by the setter John Joel and Adupa on the block. Wonderful play from them. Very good connection. They are just there waiting for him. It's almost as though they knew that ball was coming to him.
Yeah, it was actually really predictable. And I think if Chol had decided to dump that ball, he would have gotten a very, very quick point.
Or going to Owen as well.
Yeah, maybe, but the first dump would be the very first one, because blockers had already biased in before he even set the ball.
Yes, but the defense is there. That is what Ebo is bringing for his team. And Ndejje finally closing that gap of 3 points once again.
And that is a very, very wise swing through by Fairuz. He looks for a very, very tight angle whereby Sharif was already off the position.
Yes, and he could see Waiswa as well being sort of inside, and he decides to send that ball to him.
Very, very wonderful play. That's a service error.
Yeah, service error. He tried to go soft on it, but it still just went so far.
Yeah, I think he should have done better, because that distance away from the court, it is way too far. Being too careful, and then you still serve outside, it is one of those things that are actually demoralizing so much to the team and to the coaches. But a good service comes in from Kochol, good pass, and Fairoz comes in with a very, very wise attack. He really looks for those hands of Carlos, and he manages to get an off spin off the block on Carlos's block. What a wonderful play. And Fairuz is really having fun in this kind of fixture, or in this particular game. Every time he's up there, he's actually doing magic, trying to get off spins, hard attacks, even now trying to wipe those blocks that are high for Kcca. And that's a good pick from Sharif. The setter chooses to go that ball into power, but then Carlos was brought down. Martin blocks that ball down. Ball is kept alive. Free ball picked up, but the referee says that there was a net fault. There was a net fault by the Kcca players. But the Kcca players are in grievance. They are trying to, actually they are not satisfied with the referee's call about the fault. But the referee still stands saying that there was netting from the Kcca players. And now that sends Ndejje into the lead for this set 1 of the game. Okwang Crespo says, I see good action of volleyball this evening. Yes, we are also seeing very good action of volleyball in this particular fixture. Carlos comes in with a very, very hard hit into that diagonal, but Hape couldn't keep that ball alive.
Yes, there's just too much heat from Carlos, and I keep saying if he fires up and they have no way to stop him, they are going to really, really struggle to shut him down. But it's wonderful play from both sides. And Ndejje now having the advantage of Emakato being on substitution, being made for Kcca. Chol is substituted by Abdul.
I don't know, but I don't know what the coach of Kcca is trying to tactically get into this substitution. But I have a feeling like since the setter is backcourt and you're having a very, very tall setter who is Chol, who can get those balls that are crossing beyond, and he is being brought off. It is challenging for the Kcca side because he provides an extra element or character whenever that reception is really crossing.
I think for the substitution, the coach is trying to go for the middles because Abdul tends to connect so well with the middle players on their side, and Chol connects so well with the outside. Yeah.
Carlos comes in with a swing, but outside.
Yes, that ball is out. The referee confirms it, and Ndejje taking the lead, 2-point lead now for them. And having come back from behind 3 points, those 15 when Kcca was already above the 15-point mark, but now hitting that 20 and catching up is a good advantage for them. Kcca now calling the timeout to sort out their issues, but I think Ndejje has played a very, very calm game today. You can see the players are quite calm and relaxed. They don't seem to be on tension for anything. They are not rushing any plays at the moment. They had started out too quickly, but now they are calm and playing their game.
That ball was really fast. Yes. It really looked on, and but it was a very, very hard call by the referee.
But you can see the ball seems to be on from this side, but we can't really see quite clearly if it is on or not. But I think the libero's foot was on the line as well, so it could have been out.
Yeah, that was a very, very hard call, but the referee stood his ground, saying that the ball was out. And now Ndejje is in the lead of 2 points. Not the best catch from Mugenyi, but a very good block from Martin. However, it is a block out.
Yes, and they're unable to keep it in play. Kcca now trailing 1 point, and Ijongat getting onto that front court. I want to see if Abdul will be able to connect with him like how we saw Chol connecting with him as well.
Yeah, there's always advantage in having a very, very tall setter, and Chol being there as one of those tall setters, I think it is an advantage. But if you say that Abdul has been connecting very well with the middle, let's see how he manages to go through with this, and yes, if they can really play through the middle.
That's a good block from Martin. He's on that net. He's not leaving it, and he's waiting to see what Mugenyi was going to do, and he waits for him, puts those hands there, and he's able to get that block. And now Ndejje pushing the lead as well.
Yeah, but I think I have a feeling like the blockers should have been, actually the people on the front court of Kcca, they should have been able to recover that ball, but they were a little bit relaxed. And Martin with his concentration, and then he was really staying on that net to be able to defend that ball. He reaches that point for them.
It's another wonderful block, and this time it's Adupa and Emakato on the net to shut down Mugenyi Ronald. And I think also the setter is being forced to make very difficult choices right now, because the passing for the side of Kcca is not doing well at the moment. The pressure is on, and now we can see the substitution coming on from Elijah. He's coming on for Waiswa, and that is the usual substitution we tend to see. Elijah usually comes on for Waiswa, but I've not seen a pipe attack from Waiswa in this game, and it's usually one of the things that gives Kcca good points as well.
I think Elijah is on to try and give reception to the team, and because the reception was not stabilizing, but as we see still now, there is a reception error. The ball was crossing, and then Abdul fought so hard to touch on that ball, but that was an overreach.
Yes, ball seems to be on the other side, and I think that is what you had mentioned earlier about Chol as well.
Exactly. I have a feeling like if Chol was the one there, he would have been able to get to that point right in time before it crossed.
Big block. Those are 3 consecutive blocks for Ndejje from their side. They're just sitting on that net and waiting for Kcca to come on. Adupa is committing on his middle, and now Kcca is calling the second time out. Ndejje looking very, very good to take this set, just needing 2 points to take it away. But like I always say, anything can happen. Kcca could still make a comeback as well.
Yeah, and I think right now KCCA is really obsessed with making a point, and that is why they are actually making such kinds of errors in the offense. They really need to calm down. They really need to think about a strategy and know how they should score and how they should play without being obsessed and rushing to score a point. That is one of the reasons why they are making such errors. Every player who they are giving the ball, they are trying to come in rushing to try and score the ball as fast as they can, and that is actually destabilizing them now. And then we see Ndejje now has advantage of being 4 points ahead. They are looking on getting the first set point of the play. Somehow the two substitutions of KCCA haven't been effective.
Yes, at the moment, and Elijah hasn't had even a touch on that ball since he came on. They are not going after him on the service, but let's see if that could change. They do go after him. The reception is a bit there. The setter gives that ball to him and he gets the point, and finally gives his team a break as well.
Yeah, that relieves the team from the pressure of the service that was actually becoming so challenging to pass to the setter. And the setter, I still feel like that was an obsessed play. The setters trying to look out for the pipe with 3 attackers front court. It is still an obsessed play, and it really shows that KCCA is trying to lose concentration. And that's a very, very, very hard swing from Emakato on the right-hand side of the court.
Yes, it's a beautiful swing from him, and Ndejje takes it away, takes this first set, and Kcca will be looking to try to minimize their errors because they had a good start. They had the set in their hands, and then they dropped it when Ndejje hit that 15-point mark. But they were already 3 points ahead in the most crucial points. They should have been able to try and catch up. But let's take a look, of course, at the stats. We see 7 errors from both sides. We see 13 attacks on the Ndejje side, but look at the number of blocks from Ndejje. 5 blocks in one set. That's beautiful for them.
Yeah, we usually say that defense wins games, and I think it has been evident in the games that have been happening. The teams that have been having quite some number of blocks, they've been able to win in those different sets whereby they've been good at defense. And we see the errors are actually happening on both teams. However, it also depends on what time are you making the errors. Ndejje made so many errors at the start of the set. They managed to keep on playing and chasing the points, or even keeping KCCA close. And then we see KCCA came in with very many errors towards the end of the set, and that costed them a set because they made errors at the time where they did not need to make the errors. And we see also a number of swings from Ndejje, and with 13 swings or 13 attacks in play against the 11 attacks from the KCCA side, showing that the KCCA side has been struggling with attacks for the fact that we always have a player like Carlos who's always providing that attack in the opposite side, but having such fewer attacks far different from the Ndejje team, it means they've been trying to struggle or in terms of side out. But let's get back for set 2. Keep tuned in. And here we are for set 2. That was a very, very nice cover from the setter of Ndejje, and Ndejje manages to get that point. They have really fought for it, and there was a little bit of lack of concentration on the KCCA side as Ndejje picked up the ball and they are able to score on that. And that's a service error still, taking the score at 1-1. Joel being the setter and serving that ball down into the net, it is actually not good, because we see most of the setters being very, very good servers. And him losing such a kind of service, it is not the best play from the setters, as we always see on different teams. And then Joel comes in with a technical service, looking out for Fairuz, but there was miscommunication there in the passing between Happy and Fairuz, and a very, very big swing comes in from Carlos. But what a block for Komakech and Martin. A very, very strong block up there, a very, very high block, but Carlos couldn't be able to go past it. And Ndejje manages to go away with that, as the cover was a little bit off the position for the KCCA side. Fairuz down into the service. And that's a good service, well picked by Nabanji. And then Chol comes in through the middle, and that's a very, very clean point by Owen. And Happy couldn't keep that alive. We see Waiso has introduced back on court with Chol, and is now down into the service, whereby he has really been doing great in the first set before he was brought out. And then Martin comes in with a swing, but well defended by Chol. It's a free ball to Ndejje, and Martin still comes in, and it's a 50-50 ball, but the block was rightly alert, and that ball couldn't actually go past the block of the KCCA defender. And the points stand at 3-2. 3 for KCCA, 2 for Ndejje. Good service, good pick by Ebo, but the ball is too short and hit down onto the net by Martin. A very, very short set by the setter, that is Joel. Since Martin is one tall player and who gets the ball from very, very high, his reach is really high, and the set became too short, yet it is a quick set, so he ended up faulting on that kind of play. Still, we see the service error by Waiswa, as that goes wide out. Not the best he would actually wish to see or do in this particular game, for the fact that they are already a set down.
Yeah, but I still insist on this game going 5 sets, because Kcca could still try and correct their mistakes, but I feel like Ndejje is bringing in the heat in that service box. The services are troubling Kcca quite a bit, but Chol is a good setter, and he's trying to counter that. He's trying to get those balls before they cross, like you mentioned. But I think Kcca needs to sort out that reception, the passing as well. But we see Ndejje having very big blocks. We've seen a few this set as well. It's a good pick. Big swing. I think Abel has just stepped up his game. He's now attacking very hard. He's attacking front court back. I think now Fairuz can now just be calm and do his part as well.
Yeah, he's one of those players who have stepped out of the bench, and for the very first game he was introduced out there, he really showed his potential, and now we see he has earned a position on the starting lineup of the Ndejje side with such kind of attacks, a player who has been coming on to just serve and cover.
Yes, I think in the first set he wasn't going that aggressive. He was trying to score as well. But I see this set he's being aggressive and scoring. Now, if he is able to score when he's aggressive and also score when he's not being aggressive, then I think that is just what the team needs at this moment.
Yeah, and that is a service error from Carlos. He really jump serves that ball onto down the belt, and looking at him being a very, very good jump server, and KCCA starting to make errors. So far, those are 2 errors in the service zone, service box, and on the points that Ndejje has, those are 5. Already KCCA has gifted them with 2 points.
Yes, but Carlos isn't a consistent server. He's good when the service is on, but he's not very consistent, and he continues to go for that service, that jump service.
Yeah, we tried to see in the first set he served around like 3 times
Yes.
until even his service was just broken. It is not that he lost it, and that is the kind of consistency you need on a jump service, because
Yes.
if they could make for you 1 point and or 2 points, that is enough.
Yes, he needs to work on it. We've seen in games he does that, then he becomes inconsistent in the next like set, or sort of just goes down. But that's a block on Fairuz's chance again. He comes in hard this time and just brings it down. Sharif has nothing to do about it. There's just a little too much heat on it from Fairuz. And Fairuz is that player that will go very high and hard.
Yeah,
Take a look at that.
He is a very, very high jumper, and he's strong. His swings are really hard, and that ball was now deep into the corner, whereby Sharif couldn't be able to reach there because the ball was too fast.
Yes, Ndejje now looking to catch up 1 point. Good service from Madupa. Big swing from Waiswa off the hands of John Joel there. And he knows he's having the setter blocking him. He can't turn back to Martin because we've seen how deadly the Ndejje blocks have been so far.
Yeah, so far Martin is one of the best blockers on the Ndejje side, and we have seen Waiswa trying to avoid him and actually look for a wipe on the setter rather than going that deep diagonal. And a very good service, but nice pass from Fairuz, and he comes in with a very big swing, but well defended by Mugenyi. And again, they look out for him. Not that very good contact, but well, ball is defended.
Yes, but the referee calls a double touch there on Kcca's side, and that's a point for Ndejje, and they are going to really enjoy that one. It's a free point for them, so they're just now 1 point behind.
Yeah, like we said, actually, Fairuz looks to be enjoying his play in this particular fixture. And we see every time he's actually being given the ball, he's swinging quite hard onto that ball. And he has kept on putting a challenge for the Kcca side to be able to defend that ball. Then Chol comes in with a set, a bit off, and then Waiswa goes wide out. He tries to look for the hands of Kcca and Martin, but he couldn't actually get any tip on those hands, and the ball goes out wide. And now we see Ndejje leveling up the points and the substitution coming in as well.
Yes, this is the first time I'm seeing Ronald being substituted off for Elijah to come on since the past 2 games of Kcca. So I think the consistency has failed him this time. He's done it for 2 games, but I think this one it's a little tough. Things are hot. There is something that Elijah brings to the Kcca team. He brings that heat. That he's a player who will attack hard. Even when the situation is tough, he's still pushing himself. He's not on pressure or on tension. He's enjoying the game.
And don't you think like that is a rust substitution?
For him to come on, for Elijah to come on, I think it is a good substitution for him to come on, because the setter trusts him on that backcourt, so he will try to look for him. He will have 3 attackers. Actually, even if he's on the backcourt, he will have more than 3. He will have 4 with Carlos as well. And another thing, I just think it's a good substitution, really.
Coming in at 8-8 as the substitution, I really think it is a very rushed substitution, because
yes, it is early. Yeah.
You might really need that substitution towards the end of the set.
It is early, but I think if things fail, he could still just switch it up, I guess.
Being reversed, will he really help enough according to the scores he really came out? Anyway, that goes to the technical side of the Kcca as they sit stuff on the side of their team. But to me, I really feel that this substitution came in really very early, because Mugenyi had not actually done anything much on that court until he was substituted. But perhaps the coach needs the setter to get options, because we see the reception was really doing them bad. And
yes.
Then Waiswa comes in with a swing in position 2.
Yes, a big swing from Waiswa through position 2, and he's onto the service now with Elijah on the front court. I think Elijah could bring the difference.
Yeah, he's actually one of those very good blockers.
But there is a net fault there from Kcca. But you can see the block is there. That ball was directed down to the libero, so I think that is him as a libero. That block is closing that line and sending the ball this side. But I think that net fault comes afterwards.
Yeah,
But
it was well picked by the libero, but then the net fault actually couldn't actually continue the play. And there comes in a dump by Owen, but well picked up by Ndejje. And then Martin comes in with a fault.
yeah, I think he tried to go with a big swing on it, but he ends up touching the net and doesn't get that point. But it's now 11 for Kcca, and Ndejje is on 10. Kcca is still trying to continue to maintain the lead, have that 1 point lead. And I think if they are able to continue, they could take this set as well.
Yeah, we've seen Kcca always having the introduction of the pipe play or the middle attack of the backcourt for Waiswa, but we haven't seen it much since the start of the game. And I think one of the reasons maybe why they brought Elijah in was to have such kind of play in their play.
Yes, but that's a beautiful swing from Ndejje. Makech now going on to the service. It's a wonderful play. That is able. He's really doing what he's surprised me this evening.
Yeah, he's doing the basic. Yeah, look at where the ball went to. And I think Owen should have been in that position to be able to cover that ball. But we always see center blockers in terms of coverage. Center blocker who gives you actually cover, he has done great for you. And most times if he covers that ball, you really need to score that point for yourselves. But then Komakech comes in with a swing, hard out, and that is an attack fault from him. We still see the setter choosing to go for a backcourt than giving Ebo the ball, whereby I feel like it is a poor decision because Ebo has been able to score on every ball that he has been given. We say, he has been able.
Yes, yeah, like his name.
Yeah.
Yes, Kcca once again having that 1 point lead. It's a good service this time. Carlos able to put it on. Quick set. The connection not working well. Going to Abo again. So smart play from him. Elijah with a big swing, but Happy is sitting right in that diagonal. Oh. Oh, it's an error, miscommunication there between the Ndejje players. I feel they could have taken this point long time ago, but they were trying to rush the plays, and that's where the errors have come in from.
Yeah, that is miscommunication because one of the players should have been able to read that and see that the other one is on the ball. Especially Joel should have seen that his center player is actually already up there and is looking. His eyes are focused on the ball, so that he leaves him to set that ball. But that was we saw wonderful plays in defense by both teams. And then Carlos comes in the hit, but then Happy is able to keep that alive, and then Fairouz attacks that ball way out. And now that extends the lead for Kcca side to 3 points. We are seeing Carlos starting to gain momentum in terms of attack. One of the things that really helps him to keep jump serving very well is when he's given quite a number of balls and he's very, very active in that backcourt or even in position 2. But now still we see that is a very, very bad service error from him, as he puts that down onto the net, although it wasn't a very, very hard jump service. And that still reduces the gap between them and Ndejje side. And then we see Ebo going into service, whereby he's one of those very, very good servers and a good defender in the back zone. Nice service comes in, but well picked by Sharif. And then Cosmas comes in with an attack down the diagonal side, and the Happy was off position. That is a very, very clean point for Kcca. Yeah, Fairouz also tended to move out of his zone of cover and perhaps dodge that ball. He should have been able to defend that ball since he was already off position, and also the Ribeiro went off position as Fairouz pulled out. You see Cosmas comes in with a jump service too, and the setter picks down the middle, and that is a very, very tricky score, as Waiso couldn't be able to pick that ball up. Very, very wise play. He just literally went up there very high and tapped the ball instead of attacking it very, very hard. That's a very, very good play from the Ndejje team. And we see a substitution came in on the Ndejje side. That was Wafoda Kevin, who came in with a very, very good service, but then Kcca was able to break that through. As we saw the Chol picking up Cosmas on the pipe, like we say that maybe one of the things that Cosmas was brought on for was to have options on the play, because we see they've used so much of their pipe play, and having now two players, that is Waiswa and Cosmas, to be able to attack those pipes through the middle, it is an option to Kcca as a team. But then we see a ball that couldn't be kept alive by the center player. It was well picked, but then Owen couldn't be able to pick that ball back up, and it is a score for Ndejje. Ndejje has really failed to close up the gap of the 2 points, as Kcca has tried to maintain their lead of 2 points at all times. We now see a point-on-point per play on both teams. That is a very, very hard swing by Carlos, but that is wide out. He tried to look for that line, but he couldn't get it. And as the defense of Ndejje was well placed, that is from the block to the cover, and that is an attack fault. We see actually Ndejje has been trying to be a little bit more concentrating whenever they reach the late play of the left points, because I think they are trying to know that whenever they reach 15 points and above, they need to reduce their errors. But we see still Chol trying to pick out Carlos as his major person, and then that is a defense that could not be picked back up, as Ebo did get that ball onto his arms, and that ball went out wide. Good service by Chol. Ebo picks it up, and that is a very good ball that Komakech swings into the diagonal. He is a very, very tall player, and he's a strong player. He really jumps high above the block. Carlos couldn't actually reach where he actually attacked that ball from, but I think he should have been able to do better, because that ball actually passed on the belt. But the fact that he had his head facing down and tried to close his eyes, perhaps trying to avoid the attack on his face, he couldn't get that.
Yes, but we can see in Ndejje, we are getting into those late crucial point moments in this set, and Kcca is still trying to maintain their lead, now having a 2-point lead, and if they're able to maintain it. I see the swings are coming in. The setter is playing with the block of Ndejje. They could be able to take the set, and we could go 1-1 from here. That's a good pick. There's no one there. It's a free ball from Happy. Chol sort of going for it. Elijah, big swing. Happy makes that good defense. The setter looking for Fairuz on the backcourt. Waiswa. Happy is just a little too far to get to that ball. And take a look at that lead. Kcca has now pushed themselves to 19 points. And they're looking very, very good to actually maybe take this set. But that's a beautiful touch from Martin on the block.
Yeah, that's a good touch, and one of the reasons why Kcca lost the previous set was that they lost concentration at this particular time of the game, and
Yes.
right now we see that they are really actually concentrating, and they are finding options, because we've seen quite a number of pipes that came in. Elijah was backward, he managed to get a few points from there, and then we see also Weiser still actually following the same trend. And if Ndejje was really wise, they should know that the pipe attack is the option that Kcca has chosen to take, and perhaps they should try and play off that kind of tactic from the Kcca side.
Yes, but from that time out, maybe Ndejje could find a way to improve their play. But Kcca is looking very, very strong. Like you said, they're concentrating. They know they need to take this set, otherwise it would be disadvantageous for them. if they don't go away with it, if Ndejje goes 2-0. It's a good service. Tough pick there for Fairuz. The setter going to Abel. Big block from Martin, and that is on Elijah. Elijah just had nowhere to go on that attack. The block just gets onto that ball and seals it. And there is Kcca and Martin, so there is just no way through for Elijah.
But it is really amusing on how setters really tend to set, because they're looking at Carlos being blocked by Ebo on this other side, and we know how Carlos really attacks. But then the setter chooses to go to Cosmas, and with against the blocks of Kcca and Martin. And yet previously we even saw the backcourt or the pipe working for them. Why did they have to? Why did he have to actually change?
Yes, that is a question I would also be asking the setters. Do they take a look and see when they are trying to set? Do they know which people are blocking their attackers and what decisions to make sometimes? But that is all in the service box. It's a good service. The setter, quick set through the middle to Wafula, but that is an error from Carlos, and he doesn't get the point. And of course now that is something that Ndejje will be enjoying. It gives them a break and they're able to push. And they're still in this game. Substitution coming on, Emakato and now Kcca on the outside.
Well, we see that right now what is working for Kcca is actually the backcourt in 3, which most people call the pipe. And we see that they are struggling to score from the different positions. That is now their position, the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Perhaps now should they keep on the pipe as well?
Oh, that's a tight set for Elijah, but he's able to get a touch.
As if that ball was out?
Yes, it was out, but there's a touch from the block as he sends the dump. The referee says there was a touch. Let's take a look again. Yes, there was a touch of the and a slight. I think Elijah was on the other side, and he stepped on him as well. And that is the setter John Joel, but he seems to be okay.
Yeah, I think that was crossing from the Kcca side. To me, that would be a point going to the Ndejje side, because that is a dump. It is not a very fast play. The ball by the time the player landed, the ball was still up. And to me, I would think it is really crossing. But the referee says that it is a point to Kcca. And then a free ball comes in by Emakato. Chol still goes for Cosmas. And he comes in with a swing down to the deep side of the corner of the court.
Yes, that's a good play there from Elijah. And look at those scores. Kcca is really looking good to take this set. 3 points. They're 3 points and they can't take it away. Like you said, they've really tried to minimize their errors around this time. But as we mentioned errors, there goes Carlos with the service error. And that's his 3rd service error in this set.
Yeah, actually every rotation that he has gone into service, I think he has lost a service. And he has actually had 3 rotations with that service, and he has lost 3 services. That is not a very considerate play by him. At least he should try to put that ball on court. The fact that they are even leading.
Shut down. Good block there on Elijah. But I think the sets seem to be a little tight for Elijah to find ways to maybe go through. Let's take a look again.
The ball is a little bit off net, and he had already gone past the ball, so the swing he couldn't actually complete the swing.
Yes, I think him and Chol need to speak to each other and see how they can do better. Good pick from Sharif. Setter now going to Waiswa. It's a dump, but that goes out. Look at the scores. Ndejje is just 1 point behind. Kcca needs to settle and just get a break as quickly as possible. Otherwise, they are in a very hot seat right now.
Well, previously I said that actually Kcca was keeping their concentration in play. But this particular point in time, I think they are losing their concentration, and those are quite about like 3 errors. We saw Carlos serving out, then we saw Cosmas being blocked back down when the ball was a little bit off net, and then we see Waiswa coming in to dump that ball out. Those are 3 errors that pushes Ndejje to actually close up the gap to 1 point, which is one thing that Kcca should think about. Should they keep playing like this? No, I think they really need to know that it is towards the end of the set, and they really need to get points, maximum points, and reduce on the errors they have on their side. And then we see Ndejje is now increasing the focus, and they are increasing the concentration they are fighting on, and they are trying to actually make the Kcca players get more on pressure.
Yes, but Ndejje having the service, it's an advantage for them since they've been really defending well. But Kcca could bring in a big swing, going to Carlos, and there it goes. They're able to get the break immediately. And it was obvious the setter was going to look for the hard hitter, the hardest hitter on his side, and he goes to Carlos, and he's able to get that point. And Kcca is looking for 2, but I think Ndejje is still in very much in this. Look at Fairuz being there on the front court. Elijah on the service. He chooses to go for the jump service. Oh, and it's an ace service. I didn't quite expect it since he had gone for the jump service. But when he used to be in OBB, he used to do that very often. And I think he needs to psych up and get back to his OBB days, because I feel like then he was such a great player.
Yeah, he's also a very, very technically gifted player, especially whenever he reaches that jump service. And he's one of the players who can really challenge you, because we know he can attack from all the different kinds of positions on court. But though we see that his connection with Joel in position 4 has really been lacking, I have a feeling actually I see the balls to be a little bit short, and they do not allow him to complete the swing, and sometimes the balls are a little bit off net. But now he really comes in, he proves me wrong that that substitution was actually too early, because he came in, he positively made an impact on the team, and right now Kcca is on set point as they look forward to take this set 2 of the game. We've not seen Kcca try to feature in this particular game.
I think today he's just trying to be the coach, and I think he hasn't seen the need to get there. That's a good swing there from the middle from Wafula Kevin, and Ndejje getting the break. Just 2 points now to catch up, but of course Kcca is looking for 1, and we've seen the big swings coming in from their side, so they could take it away.
Yeah, Kcca is looking for just 1 point to be able to get this set, and I have a feeling like the setter will choose Waiswa for that ball, actually backcourt.
Yes, and Isaac Benyu, I am watching you. You are saying you're live there in the heart of Lira City. Thank you for tuning in and watching with us, and all of you that are there joining us online. Kcca is taking this, has taken this set, and it's 1-1. Ndejje 1 set, Kcca 1 set, and I think we could go 5 sets here. I think this game is very challenging for both sides, very competitive. But as we look at the stats there, we see that Kcca is still having more errors than Ndejje, but the attacks now being more, and they've done better on the offense, and that is what has given them this set. But I think if they could bring down their errors, both sides, if they could take down those errors, they could play better.
Yeah, they would really play better, but we see actually, yeah, Kcca has really tried to go offensively than more defensive, and those are actually quite a number of swings, 15 and just 10 for Ndejje. And previously we saw in set 1 Ndejje having actually more swings and more attacks. That was 13 up against 11. but with quite a number of blocks. We still see Ndejje having some number of blocks, that is 3 against 1, and that means that the defense of KCCA really needs to step up, especially on the net, because having 1 block per set, that is not the best that they could actually look out for, or what they would wish for. They really need to get quite a number of blocks whenever they get to that net. And then we see the service errors, the serves 1S from KCCA and 0 S's from the Ndejje side. But the errors tend to be so high, like Chandra said, eight errors for the Ndejje side and 9 for the KCCA side. Those are actually very many errors, because those are many points made for the opponent. So keep tuned in. Let's wait for set 3. But in our comments, we see Isaac Ben Ochu says, thanks Ndejje and KCCA, you are entertaining me here in Rila City. Thanks for making my evening. Well, let's wait for set 3. We see who fights more. Is this other side the winning side? Because we see both teams have won from one side. Perhaps there is a winning side on this particular court, but that will be proven wrong by the teams that get back on court. Welcome back for set 3. And there we see an attack fall from Martin. It was a very nice swing and a nice attack, but it was way out of the court. And there comes the service from Chol. He chooses to go for that dropper service, but then well picked by Martin. And Fairuz comes in with a hard swing, and Cosmas couldn't be able to keep that ball in play. Yeah, Coach Mugoda trying to remind his KCCA blocker, that is Owen, on how he's supposed to defend that ball, and perhaps still the block be able to face back on court. But there was a gap in between that block, so the block wasn't well joined. And there comes the service error. Now from Joel. The Joel is actually losing now the second service from the time he lost one in the first set. But as a setter, he shouldn't be losing such kind of services because setters tend to be very good servers, like I told you from the start. So he needs to check out on himself on how he serves, because if you have players who will still lose service and you're still looking to fight for a set, it is really bad. Oh, what a nice swing. That is a very hard swing from Fairuz. He really jumped way so high. He got that ball from way high on the net, but Cosmas couldn't be able to get that ball. Although he really jumped so high, both players were really high on the block and the attack, but then the ball went through. A very good attack from Fairuz there. Joel goes for position 2, but that's a fault on the Ndejje side, as KCCA goes away with this. But it was really a struggle, and Carlos made his best to maintain the ball in play, because it was a very tight set on the net, but there was netting by the Ndejje players. That was Martin in specific. Owen goes into service. Very good service, well picked by Happy. And the setter chooses to go with one hand set, but that is a very, very good block. Kcca seems to be doing better in the defense now. This particular set now, they already have a block to be actually counted. They've been having 1-1 block per set, but right now they've got early blocks in. Very good service from Owen again, and Ebo comes in with the missed contact of the ball, and that ball goes way out wide. Ndejje is actually tending to make very many errors right now. It is still the start of the set, but so far they've made around 3 errors on the 5 points that Kcca has. Kcca proving to have more concentration in this particular set in terms of serving very well and trying to defend very well. And a very good, nice block again, but the ball is kept alive by Happy. And then Ebo comes in with a swing, but the referee says that is a fault. Those should have been 4 touches. Yes, the ball hit the Martin as it went back down onto Happy as he tried to maintain the ball alive. And that was actually 4 hits. The referee got this very right. So it would have been better actually when the setter had passed that ball over as the last touch. And now Kcca comfortably gets into the lead with 6 points up against 2. Owen is still in service. He has really given rhythm to the Kcca side in terms of gaining concentration and also having a comfortable lead in this particular play. Whenever he has served better about 3 times, and the team seems to be now more comfortable with the few points they already have in the lead. And now they really need to still concentrate more, because if he's really serving well, they also really need to block as well too. That's a service, comes in, well picked by Fairuz, and the setter now chooses the middle for Martin. The receptions tend to be crossing for the Ndejje side, and the setter is always actually really struggling, trying to get the balls from so high before they cross to the other side of the court. He has managed to get so many touches, and this time around he manages to get that ball with his 2 hands, and Martin is able to execute that point, and that one gives Ndejje Elites a reliever. Now Martin is into service. He's one of those good servers of the Ndejje side, because his service is a really bit technical, and it is always dropping close to the attack line. That's a service. And that is an ace. Misread by Sharif. He really thought that ball was out. He had actually attempted to raise his hands to make an overhead pass, but he misread it poorly, and that was an ace on the Ndejje side. Very, very nice service from Martin. Still Martin comes in with the service. And that's a very, very good service. Nabanji couldn't get the right pass for the ball, and it's a free ball to Ndejje. He comes in with a hard swing into the pipe. That is Fairuz. Wow, very nice play from the Ndejje side. The blockers couldn't actually read that very well. Yes, they timed, they read that the setter was not giving the middle. They kept way down, but as they jumped for the pipe, they couldn't be able to get that ball in time, and very well executed by Fairuz. And Martin serving here. Good service, comes in, not the best pass from Sharif, and that is a very good attack from Carlos, and he manages to actually give a relief to the Kcca side. We see Sharif being destabilized in the reception. He's not in the 3. He has not actually passed any one ball that is very, very good for the combination attack for the Kcca side. And the service from Carlos. Jump service comes in here. Good service, well picked by Fairuz. And the setter chooses Kcca. Comes in with a very, very hard attack on the line, but that ball is out. Ball out. That was a nice swing. He really went down onto the line. The blockers had closed the diagonal, but the ball went out of the court, and Kcca is back into the lead of 3 points. Very good service, well picked by Ebo, and the setter gives him the ball. Ball is well defended by the Kcca side. Still Komakech comes in with the attack, but then well defended by Sharif. And the pipe comes in by Waiswa, but still the defense is doing very, very well for both teams. Free ball, Chol chooses. Carlos comes in with a hit, and that ball is in. Referee says ball in. And from the reaction of the Ndejje Ribeiro, it seems like he saw that ball, and he saw that that ball was on court, and he couldn't make any argument or any kind of complaint to the referee, because he really saw that ball was on court. And now Kcca is in a comfortable lead, which forces Ndejje to call for the first time out at 5 points to 9.
Yes, I see Irene on the comments saying commentators are boring, Banae, but I think sometimes you guys need to understand commentators are also kind of human. We work games morning, so sometimes it gets tiring, but of course we are trying our best to keep you engaged, and we shall continue to keep trying and try to improve where we can. But of course, most times games towards the end, people tend to be quite tired because we've worked consistently. It's hard, yeah, but we shall see how to work on it.
I think Karunji loves violence. Yes, we shall bring in her, but when times for violence reach.
Yeah, but I think we are really trying, guys. It's tough to be sitting here all day. We are trying to give you these games, and I hope you don't think that we are maybe being I don't know, rude or something, but that's it. We are trying to really bring you these games, and sometimes we need to maybe take a sip of water and be quiet or take things slow. Otherwise, we may not finish. We may not actually end the day. But there you have it. The game is going quite well for Kcca since taking that set. They're having a 3-point lead and 7 points at the moment for Ndejje. But like I mentioned, I still feel this could go 5 sets. Yeah. Both teams really pushing each other. But I think Kcca has really stepped up their game since that second set.
Yeah, they've really stepped up, and they are showing more intent that they really need in this set. And that is a very good dump from Chol. He's a very tall setter. He really puts that ball back down with both hands, and there is a complaint from the Ndejje players that should be a carry or a dunk.
Yeah, but no, I think that was he was high, and you could see he sent the ball so high that it almost touched the net as it goes down. It's
yeah,
just,
it was more of an attack.
Yes, it was sort of like an attack, but that's a service error from Ijongat.
Well, it is very interesting to have such tall setters, because you never know at what point what they will do. And having such kind of block, it is or such kind of play, it is not even a block, it is a dump. It is something that Ndejje never expected to see on their side.
But it was so quick from him, very, very fast. And we haven't seen him dump so much this game, Chol. But that is another point for Kcca, and Ndejje needs to be very careful because if Kcca takes away this second set, it's going to be very difficult for Ndejje to grab the fourth set, the fourth set from them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and Kcca will now be in the driving seat with the two sets up against one. It means that they will have more confidence in how they play, and they should be able to play every kind of combination they need. And then Fairoz comes in with a very, very hard attack. He really jumps so high. He gets that ball away from above, and Waisa couldn't be able to reach wherever he was up there.
Yes, he goes so high, and he has a very fast swing. There's going high, but when the swing is a bit slow, but he goes high and snaps the ball quickly. And that is an advantage that he has. John Joel, the setter, going into the service box. It's a good service. He goes after Waiswa. It's a dump, but he is shut down. Martin is just on the block waiting. And I think Ndejje is really going after Waiswa on the service. Consistently, they are looking for him.
Yeah, we saw them first target the rebello, that is Sharif, and now we see they are targeting Waiswa. I think they are serving a positional service that is really technical. They are trying to serve that ball towards position one, and I love for the fact that the players such as Martin, they are concentrating so much on the net and trying to bring that ball back down. But now what a hit by Elijah. That was a very nice set without any kind of block on the net, and Elijah executes that down. We can even really see from the celebrations that he's really happy for this. George Williams says that Irene Bakwena
Otuwemu.
Yeah, I think we really need to actually invite Irene on this particular
and she gives us commentary. We should.
And we listen from her. It would be actually very nice to have some of you in this kind of commentary. And then there we see a very, very nice block still from the Kcca side, as now they pull back their lead back on for the 4 points. Emakato comes in for Komakech, just to give make the play a little bit more fast. And Emakato is one of those experienced players who will give the team more defense and also improve the offensive side. And that is a very, very wise play from him. He really looks for the hands, and that ball couldn't be kept alive by Waiswa. Then a service for Ndejje now. It's quite a soft service from Fairuz, but not the very best set. But then a dump comes in by Elijah. He's actually tending to be one of the players that has stabilized the Kcca play in this evening. And he has come off the bench. He has delivered his best. He's giving the team the first reception very well, and he has been very lethal on attack or offensively. And that is one of the things that has given Kcca the confidence to actually play better. The service from Owen, well picked by Fairuz, and then a dump comes in by Ebo, but then that was crossing. Ebo managed to touch that ball, but then the set was really too tight on the net, and as he tapped that ball, he crossed to the other side of the net. And then now we see the lead extending to 5, and we see a substitution now being brought on. That is Chitosi Roni, the head coach player. He now decides to step on court and perhaps try to pull the strength back for the Ndejje side, and also try to make the points a little bit closed down, because 5 points lead is actually too much for the men's side, although teams can always tend to reduce those points.
Yes, but now of course Chitosi being on, things are getting very tough for Ndejje's side. It's a free ball. Yes, and Ndejje is seemingly unable to just get a point. Wise swap, big swing, and Martin is waiting for him, but that slight touch from the block, and that ball just lands on the Ndejje's side. Chitosi unable to keep it in play. Look at those scores. Kcca, the fire they are having, the morale, they are pushing themselves. And this is what I was talking about. I think cycling up in that second set and pushing themselves to this third set. We've seen that also happen during the game of VVC versus UPDF earlier. It was also another good example of a comeback a team makes. It doesn't matter points or sets.
Yeah, usually we see team making comebacks, especially in sets. For the men's side, teams tend to make more comebacks in terms of set plays because sometimes whenever the team leads you with 5-6 in the men's kind of play, the team tend to win that particular set because always men, we see they always try to move point on point, and now we see a service error coming in from Martin, and the lead of the points extending to 6.
Yeah, you don't expect your player to just risk that service when they are behind. I think in that moment you need them to put that ball on court. Yes, and if it goes either way, even right now, I would expect a player on KCCA to just serve that ball on court and defend. Now.
Yeah, that is very right. You do not need to lose actually service in this particular kind of play. Whenever you have a point lead or whenever you're trying to chase points, you really need to maintain your service on court. And now we see defense of both teams being good, and that is a very, very wise attack from Emma Kato.
Yes, Emma Kato will really enjoy that side in position too. He's a left-handed player. He's an aggressive player, and he means business. So he's trying to lift up his team. But of course, 5 points is not so much. They could still catch up. It gets very tough when a team gets to 20, and then most times when a team gets to 20 points when they are ahead, they tend to relax.
Yeah, that is very true, but you also think there are not many points, but for the team that is not fired up. Right now we see a team of KCCA that is fired up. They are very, very offensively strong, and now they are trying to catch up the points.
The setter just prepares himself and gets a swing on that ball, and he gets the point. Chol, you could see the preparation he made, but that's a good defense from Happy, good effort from Emma Kato to keep it in play. But I think Chol just receives that one, and Ijongat doesn't think twice. He just puts that ball up for him.
I was thinking? I was actually thinking Carlos was going to jump over Chol because he had really charged, and he's one of the players, whenever he has charged, he has really charged.
Yes, but I think he could see him as he moved. Service, good pick. Middle, quick swing from Ijongat. He doesn't actually he doesn't attack that ball. He just sends it with a quick dump, and he gets that point. Kcca now hitting the 20-point mark with 6-point lead. They're looking for 5 to take the set and maybe have the lead and give themselves a point. Ijongat, a good service. Of course, ball goes to Happy. Fairuz this time off the blocks. It's a block touch out. He gets that point and closes the gap to 5. Substitution, Adupa coming off and Wafula Kevin bringing in that service. We saw that service played a good role for Ndejje in the first set, and it gave them the set against KCCA. But that's a good pick from Elijah. Ball goes to Carlos off the blockers, and he gets that point. KCCA means business right now. I don't see them seemingly reluctant like we saw in the earlier sets. They seem to consistently go hard.
Yeah, like I said also earlier, the 5 points are very many depending on how the team is playing, or they become few depending on how your opponent is playing. Right now we see a Kcca that is fired up, and Ndejje that is trailing back and trying to catch up those 5 points. they've really been, it has really been so hard. And now even so, Kcca extended the lead to 6 points. And that is why I say that this particular set seems to be going out to Kcca.
Yes, and getting that block against the most crucial player of Ndejje, the one that has been making points, getting it against Fairuz, it's a big moment for them. And then I think that also plays on the minds of the Ndejje setter, because now he's going to be looking for where to put that ball to get the point.
Yeah, he has to really think right now, and he has quite a number of options on court. He has 2 backcourts, and but then they really serve one of the backcourts off. Emakato comes in with a hard swing, well defended by Nabanji, and the rebound still well defended, and it's a free ball to the Ndejje side. What does the setter choose? Not the very best set in the middle, but the ball is kept alive by Sharif again. Again, another good attack by Martin. Good fight from the Kcca players, but that ball still went down.
Yes, I think this is one of the longest rallies that we have had in this set so far.
Yeah, Kcca is really showing that they are now fighting for this particular set, and perhaps they will be looking at extending such fighting into the next set. But they look like they are really going away with this. They are having a point lead of 6, and Ndejje is still trailing. They are still trying very, very hard to close up the gap, but Kcca side is not actually giving them any kind of advantage. And now we see another service error coming in from Joel. Joel has been having quite a number of service errors, and I kept on saying that as a setter you cannot have such errors, because setters tend to be one of the best. Actually, they tend to be the best servers usually on so many teams, and whenever a setter gets into service, the teams tend to be making very, very many points. But for his case, we see he has lost quite a number of them.
Yeah, but of course Kcca now just looking for 2 to go away with this set. Waiswa just decides to send that ball simply, and you can see Fairuz struggling with it a bit. Carlos, big swing, beautiful spike from him. I think we need to actually check that side of the court to see if there are any cracks there. Look at that. I almost thought he was on the back court. The distance he had from the net.
And now we saw Emakato flying past the antenna.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that blockers need to really think about, starting their blocks through the middle and trying to join out. But look at where really Emakato was. He literally blocked the antenna.
Yes. You would almost think Carlos's attack touched the antenna, but the attack was coming back on the court. But that is set point for Kcca, and Ndejje calling that timeout, sitting at 16 points. This is not a set that they've played as well as they should, and Kcca has enjoyed this one with the attacking party. The setter is playing around with the Ndejje block, and he's just pushing them here and there, and disorganizing them a little bit. But substitution is coming on. Marial is coming on, and the young setter Gift is also going to be setting for Ndejje. John Joel coming off as well.
That is Upper Nile.
Yes.
He is Upper Nile as the international player. Obviously, he comes on as they remove the other international player, who's the setter.
The setter, John Joel.
Every team is allowed to have just one international on court, and that is a very, very tight angle by Emakato, but that ball goes wide.
Yes, Kcca taking this set as well, and they're now sitting at 2 sets consecutively because they lost that first set. But now we are going into the toughest set for Kcca, but a set that could be that could give Ndejje a chance to enjoy it and see how they can fight for it. But if you take a look at that, Kcca has tried to minimize their errors, now bringing them down to 3. And look at those opponent errors from look at those errors from Ndejje. 8 errors. Yes.
That is really, really sad to have such number of errors up against 3. You see, actually, Kcca had just 3 errors.
Yeah, they really reduced it. And look at the blocks for Kcca this time, going 6 blocks, and Ndejje, which had 5 blocks in that first set, are only having 1 now. So that explains so much of what Troll is doing as a setter, trying to organize his attackers.
Yeah, and when you see a team trying to fail to block, it means the setter is really doing great, and also the attackers are doing great. but those blocks, I think it is the first time in this game, in this particular set, where Kcca have had such a number of blocks, and they've really settled down. And I believe that the first set was they really had it in hand, but they really gave it away when they lost concentration towards the end of the set.
Yes, but of course, we'll be looking forward to the fourth set to see who is going to take it away. If Kcca takes it away, that is going to be 3 points for them. And if they do not, we are going to go for the fifth set and we see what is going to be happening there. Yeah.
And down onto the comments, we say Irene saying that she will be obliged to, as long as the figure fits in. Perhaps it fits, if it fits what she might prefer. And then George Williams says that please don't get funny ideas. Always, we can't risk having Maragala here. Maragala Hakim, I don't know what you can really say to George William Charles, but he really says it is really a bad idea, because you might end up being one of the people to be invited here to do commentary. But Oboke Wilson, they are screaming Carlos's name, or perhaps he's trying to mean that Carlos is on fire. Yeah, he has really given this set to Kcca, but still Charles says that Kcca have put up a great fight. As long as Ndejje lets Carlos fly, they will be dead. Once he warms up, pulling him ain't be easy. Yeah, you're very right, Charles. Whenever Carlos has really heated up, or whenever he really has that momentum in attack, he is unstoppable. He becomes one big beast. And that is what we see has happened right now. Every time he has been given the ball, he has killed it down. And that is what has actually given Kcca quite an advantage, because the setter really had him as an option, actually a very, very big option. And then we are up for set 4. And it's a very, very good service from the Ndejje side, but not the very good set from Chol. And then Emma comes in with a very big swing, but what a block! That is Owen combined with Karos, as we see now a very, very interesting kind of celebration from their side. They've really committed to sealing down Emma Kato on that side of the court. And now we saw changes as Emma Kato starts in for Komakech, and also Ronich Tosi starting in for Ebo, perhaps trying to show that they really they are fighting for this particular set, and they really get a point in this particular game. Tosi comes in with a swing, but well kept alive by Kcca, and then Waiso comes in with a pipe attack, and that ball couldn't be kept alive by Joel, and it is a point to Kcca. Binaisa says that thanks team for the great job for that day. We had amazing ball games and volleyball actions at the home of classic volleyball in Zambia with the Serie B teams. Yes, there was actually Serie B on that side of the city. That is Sports grounds in Zambia, and quite a number of interesting games with up-country teams such as Wazee, Squad X, Gulu, perhaps is it St. Charles from here. That was actually very, very amazing fixtures, and people who couldn't catch up the games at Old Kampala Arena, they caught up with some interesting games at the Zambia Sports Ground. Thank you for the update, Binaisa. And still here, we see still a service loss, and that comes in from the middle blocker of Ndejje. As we see now, Ndejje still starts with the first service error, and which is not good. But then Kcca will be looking at capitalizing from such errors, as we saw Ndejje had so many, and Kcca had tried to reduce their errors on their side, and a very good service from Owen. And the setter picks on Emakato, but that is a very, very wise attack. Cosmas couldn't be able to block that ball down onto the court as Emakato used his block, and that was a block out. Service by Emakato, well picked by Cosmas. Chol picks Karos, very hard swing, and that ball is in. Emakato tried to get the dig on it, but the ball was a little bit heavy and it went out wide. Karos is really, he is sharp in this set and the previous set. He is one of the players who gave Kcca confidence and managed to give Kcca very, very many attacks from that side. He's really fired up, and it will be a little bit challenging for the Ndejje side to stop him. The jump service comes in, well picked by Fairuz, and the setter still chooses Emakato, and that is an off spin picked very well. Karos comes in with a swing, well defended by Emakato, and that is an off system. The dump picked in, and Chol comes in with a very, very wise play. Emakato tried to pick out him in terms of giving the ball to the setter, perhaps to kill the combination attack, but Chol took the ball back immediately to a very, very tight angle whereby none of the Ndejje players could reach. What an impressive play, and what a brilliant play by Chol. Karo still jump serving, picked by Ronnie. The setter chooses to dump, but then the block is very alert. That is Andrew on the block. He really read that from the setter Joel as he tried to dump that ball, and very, very good defense from Kcca. I think Kcca is really now showing the intent that they are ready to take this set and also go home with 3 points for that day, as we still see Ndejje being destabilized in the play. But then that is a service loss from Karos. He perhaps managed to give them 2 services that even managed to send. Actually, it led Ndejje to play off system play, and they had very, very good defense, and which is actually good enough for any server who goes into the service box. And now the very wise server comes in from Ronnie. He picks out, but then the center player picks that, and Cosmas comes in with an attack, but the ball is kept alive by himself, and there comes an error as he attacks that ball down onto the belt. Yeah, he attacked the first ball. He manages to cover himself up, and then he got another set from that was Andrew, the center. That was Waiswa, the receiver attacker, but then he put that ball down onto the net as he tried to attack that ball off the hands. And then we see another service error from Ronnie. The errors from the Ndejje side, they keep piling up. They keep adding up from the service errors to reception errors. They really need to stabilize if they really need to chase the set, because they are already a set down. Kcca already has a point. They are chasing the next 2 points. Yet Ndejje is trying to chase for at least the first point of the game. Very good pass from Happy. And a very good attack comes in from Martin, but the ball is kept alive by Cosmas, and he comes in with a pipe attack. He gets that right past the 3 blockers of Ndejje. He picked that ball, and the setter decided to give him his ball, and he executed it perfectly. What a good play. Cosmas has really also stabilized this team. I think he's really doing what Mugenyi couldn't do, because Mugenyi couldn't actually have that pipe attack, though he was providing that reception and the front court attack for the team. And then also that hard service, as we see in, picked by Happy very well, a very good attack by Fairuz, but well defended. And the setter dumps that ball. He does exactly what Chol did in the third set. He jumps high up and he takes that ball down with both hands. Brilliant, brilliant play by the setter. All the blockers were still down. Waiswa read that very late. He was still actually down as he waited for the ball to be set for the middle attacker or the outside, but then he couldn't defend it. Good service by Martin. And the set comes in with Sharif. What a good swing by Karos. Wow, Karos is becoming a beast for the Ndejje side. He is on fire. He is charged up. He is attacking everything that is up there with energy. He got that ball onto the line on Martin. Martin couldn't be able to keep that ball in play, as the ball was very, very fast and hard. And this actually still puts Kcca in the lead.
And we see Kcca having a good lead for this set, 4-point lead, and of course having those two sets already, I think they feel quite comfortable, but that doesn't mean they are going to let go of this set or relax. But there is an error from Elijah from the backcourt. You know, we haven't seen Ronald since the substitution that came in the second set. When Elijah came on, we have not seen a change with the Kcca side. Elijah has stayed on, and I think that's what I was telling you about. He tried to bring into that improvement that Kcca was looking for.
And now Owen comes in with a very, very hard swing in the middle. Chol tends to connect with him very, very perfectly, as he really went up and had a very, very good swing. The Ndejje couldn't be able to defend that. And Kcca is really into the driving seat for this particular set, as we see now Waiswa into the service zone, picking up Fairuz, but he couldn't actually still defend that ball. He passed well. The setter chose a very, very nice option for the ball, but then there were two blockers up there, and Fairuz was a little bit standing, who couldn't cover up the attacker. And that is a very, very good defense from the Kcca side. Very, very much on the concentration of the play. They are really playing their best game since the start of the game. And in this particular set, and the previous set, they are really showing concentration, and they are really showing that they really need this game to end perhaps a 3-1, or perhaps also try to show that Ndejje winning the first set was actually a mistake, or it was their luck, because they really had it in their hand and let it go. And now we see the point standing at 10-14.
Service coming in from Kcca. Oh, sorry, from Adupa. Oh my God, I don't know how I just took Adupa for Kcca. Sorry about that. I see Emakato is on court with Chitosi as well. I think they want to bring in that experience that they have to push their team. Adupa going back onto the service. I forgot to mention what a good server he is. But that's a good catch from Sharif. Big swing from Waiswa from the backcourt. Chol now going to Carlos. You can see that confusion that Chol tries to create, as really though he's going to attack. But he's a backcourt setter. Yeah. He's in backcourt, and they know it. And that's where you go back to concentration of the player.
Yeah.
Does the player know where the opponent is?
And they really knew that the setter is backcourt, and they never attempted to jump with him.
Yes.
He chose to take that ball to Carlos.
Yeah, and that's concentration. There are several players who could make a jump if they don't know.
True. Makato comes in with a swing, and he gets that back on court onto the line.
Yeah, and
ball in.
And Elijah seems to be struggling to block Makato from that side. Yeah, but of course that is his strongest side, and one
of the reasons is that he's starting his block from the middle. And he's going to block a left-handed player in a very, very tight position, whereby the left-handed person being attacking from position 2 is very tricky to block. And that is the reason why he's not having actually such kind of blocks.
He's leaving so much space on that side, and the left-handed player can still turn down the line on that side. But that's a good pick from, tough pick. It always almost looks like a good pick from Sharif, but then I realize it's actually staying and not getting to the setter.
Yeah, that is true. He's putting the ball up, but it is actually taking the Kcca side to play off system. And whenever you're playing off system, it means you'll be playing you'll be playing against a very, very tight defense, especially on the net and in the back zone.
Yes, and now Kcca calling a timeout to see how they can maybe try to push their lead once again, but Ndejje is trying to catch up, and the game is still on. Anything can happen in this moment. Being in the fourth set, of course, Kcca already having that 1 point. The game is really, really still on, and Ndejje pushing with their experienced players that they're having on, Chitosi and Emakato, bringing in that change, that difference, that maturity that they are looking for.
Yeah, and actually Kcca was leading with 12 points to actually 7. Those were 5 points, and now the gap was reduced to just 2 points. As we can see that Kcca is still leading, but now Ndejje is just chasing 2 points. 2 points with a very, very good server in Emakato in the service zone, in the service box, as he picks up a very, very tight angle, serving that ball deep down onto position 1, because he knows it will be tight for the setter to turn and have actually the combination attacks as he might wish to do. Still, he picks up the same spot. That's a very good set to Andrew, but the ball is kept alive, and Elijah takes the rebound. He really now takes that ball down. He makes no errors. He tries to kill it immediately, and he gets that very, very well. And now Ndejje players seem to be a little bit having heads down. They are showing that they are a little bit down. This could give Kcca the advantage, knowing that they are already leading and they are up there. They are fighting more. And a very, very wise dump from Ronnie. That is what experience can do. 3 high blocks went up for him. He really moved up. He jumped. He showed them that he's really attacking this ball, and he spins that ball just above the block, and the cover couldn't move in time to pick that ball. Very, very flat-footed. Elijah and Sharif couldn't be able to move, but they should have been able to do better. Joel picks up the middle, ball kept alive. Emakato takes it back on court. That's a free ball to Kcca. What can they use it for? Chol still picks for their pipe play. Very, very nice cover that comes in for Emakato. And another dump. And the ball couldn't be kept alive by Martin. That was a rushed play. It was a very, very simple ball that could be played and perhaps be kept in play. But it was very, very good effort from Emakato there. What an effort. Sometimes these are efforts that you always credit players for. That is a very, very great dive, and he picks that ball, though it moves back to the other side of the court, but then the second dump couldn't be blocked by Martin or even be picked whenever it became a dump. And now Kcca is back into the lead of 3 points.
Oh, what an error from Elijah. Very unexpected on that jump service. What a play. You don't want such a play when you're at this moment, when you're getting the break and trying to maintain your lead. But I think it was just an error of contact. I don't think it was intended. You could see him raising his hand after that service, and he's been consistent with his jump service. So that little struggle. But of course now Martin going into serve for Ndejje's side. Elijah from the backcourt, ball is kept alive. Oh, that's a miss set there from John Joel. Waiswa off the block. Did you see that mistake from John Joel? He didn't know where to set and he ended up making an off-system set. I think he was looking to go to Fairuz on the backcourt, but then as he goes in to set the ball, he sees there's no space for Fairuz to come for the backcourt, and then decides to send that ball to 4 last minute. Oh, sorry, he was trying to send the ball to Chitosi on the backcourt.
Yeah, and Fairuz was in 4. But then he decides late on where to set that ball.
Yes, and that is where the problem comes in from. Yeah. But Ndejje getting a break once more, keeping Kcca at just 2 points.
Yeah, there was netting from Chol, the setter, as he tried to turn. I think there was a little bit of the knock from the middle blocker. As he turned, he had his body onto the net. And service from Joel, well picked by Elijah, and then Chol goes for Carlos. That's a very, very nice attack. He takes that onto the diagonal, and Ronnie couldn't be able to keep that ball alive, as he tells his blockers on the net that there was gap in between the block, and that is why he biased towards that side. He read it well, but as well couldn't keep that ball up in the air. Kcca keeping in the league, Chol serving. Very good pass from Ronnie, and the setter comes in for Emakato. Emakato does what the wise player is meant to do and what experience is meant to do. He just doesn't attack that ball hard, but he looks onto the block and just plays that ball softly onto the block with a little bit of experience. He knew that that ball, he was looking actually out for the block to have just a touch, and he manages to get that. Good service for Fairuz. Chol goes out to Carlos. Ball is kept alive. And then a dump comes in and the ball is on court. Emakato seems to be enjoying his play. And he's really scoring. Look at that play. And by the time he went to cross, he decides to dive. And perhaps he have his chest rather than the foot crossing to the other side. And there was no Kcca player to pick that ball. Still errors are coming in from Kcca. Now it is Owen who just dumps that ball out. Perhaps the set was short, and by the time he swung the arm, he realizes the ball is too short, and the tap really goes out. And now we see Ndejje leveling the scores at 19-19. And then there comes the service error from Fairuz. Sometimes players tend to be actually amusing. You wonder, the team catches up, they serve very well, they defend very well, they catch up the points, but that was a very, very poor loss of service by Fairuz. He had a very, very good play and a good game, but perhaps at this point in time he's losing concentration. And now Kcca is back into the lead. Waiswa is in service, one of the very, very experienced servers, especially since he serves technically. He's one server who doesn't serve very, very hard, but he's a very technical server. He will choose out a certain player or a position to serve to. Service, takes that to one. Not a very, very good pass by Fairuz. Emakato comes in with an attack. And the setter couldn't actually defend that ball. We see there was a substitution as Chol came out, but the player who came in, he couldn't keep that ball. It was not the hardest attacks from Emakato, but he manages to go away with that point. Service well picked by Sharif. Then Cosmas comes in, but that's a very, very wonderful block. Martin combined with Emakato, they block so well, and Ndejje is leading now 21-20. Ndejje is really fighting to get the point in this particular fixture, and they are not giving up. They were led with so many points, and they kept on closing the gap, and now they are already leading in this set.
Yes, and of course the service coming in from Adupa is also a good one, but that's a good pick. Big swing from Carlos, and that is their point. The ref, the Ndejje side seems to think that ball was on, but he called it out, called it a block out. Kcca has really stepped up their game. Ndejje is sitting at 21 points since taking that lead, but Kcca is proving to be stronger. The blocks are coming in, very, very big blocks, big swings, wonderful block. That's the second block in a row from Kcca since catching up with Ndejje at 21. And of course, sitting at 2 sets, they have a big chance to take this set and take away the game. But like we've seen Ndejje trying to make that comeback, they have not yet given up in this game, and they've also made crucial points towards the end. But I think Elijah has been looking to get that block against Emakato, and getting it right now at this point in the game, I think it's pushing him so much to want to win this game. Good. Big swing from Martin. But now this is where it gets very complicated. Kcca is still sitting at 23 points, but now Ndejje has the service, and we've seen Kcca is having 3 attackers on the front court. I could say I would predict them to attack and score, but right now I don't know the decision making of Abdul. If it was Chol, I would actually now start guessing and say maybe the ball could go here, but for Abdul, I'm not very sure. But also for Chol, I'm not saying he's predictable setter, but I'm just speaking based off of how we have seen him. Yes, and look at that error. I think
Carlos dumps that ball onto the antenna. Well, it wasn't the very, very good pass. The setter really tries his efforts, but it is a really tight set. And now we see the substitution is being reversed as Chol comes back on and Abdul gets out. and the points are level now, 23-23.
Yeah, and I think the coach decides to bring Chol back, like you've mentioned. Oh, tough pick there. Ndejje could go on. Oh, at this point, I'm just being surprised by everything that's happening. Chitosi goes a very hard cross court and gets that point. And this is where you now understand the importance of passing the ball, relaxing and giving your setter a good pass. And that is what has cost Kcca right now. They don't give a good pass. There are three attackers on the front court. The setter has no option but to send that ball to Elijah in 4. And now it is set point for Ndejje. Kcca calling a timeout.
Kcca really needs to make this point if they need to keep their themselves into the play and perhaps keep fighting for this particular set. But that was I think the Kcca side, they should have brought Chol back in time, because that reception Abdul really struggled to set, which was crossing. I have a belief that Chol could have perhaps stood a better advantage since he's very tall, he jumps high. Perhaps the set for Karos wouldn't be as tight as it was, and Kcca had the chance, but now Ndejje really has the best chance of this set. They have the service, and they have a good defense on the net. Yes, Joel is also a very tall setter. We see Martin, who's their best blocker on court, and Chitosi bringing in the experience whenever they have the free ball, is available to execute it. And that's a free ball picked very well. Ronnie comes in with an attack, and he ends that set in style. I had just actually mentioned it, that I believe the setter would still pick out Ronnie whenever they have the free ball, because he's that one player who will know that he really needs to score for the team, and he will not be scared to take on any challenge of the net defense, and he really attacks that ball onto the block, and he manages to give actually Ndejje the first point to fight for. Now it is 2-2. We are going into the decisive, but looking onto the statistics, we see Ndejje having 15 attacks and Kcca having 14 attacks, very close to each other. Most of the teams actually attacked so many balls on their side, and Ndejje attacked quite a number of them towards the end of the set. And we see on the block side, still Ndejje having 1 block, as Kcca had 3 blocks, because they started off very well. And the service errors, Kcca coming in with one service. Actually, the serve aces, we see Kcca had 1 ace, and Ndejje still had no ace there. And errors, still Kcca making so many errors. 9 errors up against 5. Those are actually the errors that brought back Ndejje into the play, because Kcca was leading the set comfortably. But as they kept on making errors, Ndejje kept on reducing the gap in the points, and now the game goes into decisive at 2-2. Let us see who fights more and who needs this game more. The team that puts in more fight is the team that will go away with the 2 points. So far, every team has 1 point in the basket, but every team will need to go away with that other 1 point, because it is very vital. Like we said, this will be an interesting match. It is really an interesting match. We've seen spectacular plays from both teams, very nice defenses, and very good and strong attacks. And now the game goes into the decisive. Hopefully you are enjoying it wherever you are. Please still stay calm. The pressure is quite high, as it became so high on the Kcca side. And now Ndejje has tried to minimize the pressure, and now we are into the decisive.
And the decisive set is underway. Kcca starting with that service from Chol, but that is a big swing from Fairuz, and that is their point. The referee calls for a net touch. First point going to Ndejje, and we all know this set is 15 points. So this is where it gets very, very tough.
Yeah, Carlos is called netting, but he really looks unsatisfied with the referee's call, as he still believes that he did not touch that net. That's a good service by Joel, but what a hard hit by Owen. Owen comes in with a very, very hard swing through the middle, and we see the Ndejje players trying to tell their fellow player hard luck, because he couldn't be able to defend that ball well.
Yeah, and those are the swings we've been looking forward to seeing from Owen since the start of this game, but we've not seen, and that is, I think I could say that is the first that I've seen personally. Big block from Elijah. That is why he is there on the Kcca side.
Exactly, exactly. He's there to provide that very good defense. He has been
won.
taking a very high block, and he hasn't been able to get it. By this time around, he gets Fairuz down, and that is a very, very good killer block. Isaac predicts that Ndejje is taking this.
Isaac, Isaac, keep up with your prediction. We shall see you at the end of this game, and we shall have a chat to see if it is still the same. But what a play there from Adupa in the middle. It's so unexpected. I think he wanted to send that dump so hard in the ground, but the contact is a little bit delayed and it goes out.
Adupa is sending a message to Isaac.
Yes, Adupa seemed to say, I want to show you that we are not taking this. But I think that was just a tough error. Oh, there goes again. Isaac, are you watching? I think Emakato trying to call for a touch there, but we could see that ball just went so high off the hands. There's no way that there was a touch on that ball.
Yeah, he tried to look for the hands, but he couldn't get that. It was a wise kind of play, but he really ended up taking that ball way out wide.
But service coming in from Kcca again, off system. Emakato makes that touch. The setter is there. Oh, quick set, quick swing from Owen. Just a slight touch. The setter knows he's there. This is the difference that Chol brings to the Kcca side.
Exactly. And it was very, very good effort from Elijah. Yeah, he really read that very well. The block touched, he retrieved the ball very well, and the setter was very wise to know that his center blocker, who is Owen, is very, very quickly available, and he just tapped that ball onto the ground, and now it actually forces Ndejje to call the first timeout.
Yes, a very early timeout. I don't know if it's so early.
It is not early.
It is any time you can call a timeout in a decisive because it's a short set.
Yeah, even when it goes 3-0, you can easily call it a timeout because it is a very, very short set. And yes, it is you need to stabilize your team as early as possible.
But you know, decisive sets are very, very challenging and tough to predict. It could be 5-1 now, but then later you could see a different play. There are games where you see it's 9-14 and teams just catch up and take the set.
Yeah, and don't be surprised by a time where you see the teams can change even when the points are around like 8-6 or 8-7.
Yes.
Because the teams tend to close up the points very, very quickly, and teams tend to get on pressure, especially those that are doing poorly in the play. But a very good pass from Ronnie, and then Fairuz comes in with an off-system play.
But there is a net touch once again. I think Kcca needs to sort this out because the swing is not hard. Ball has been recovered, but there is a net touch. Let's take a look again. Yes, that. Oh, there is a net touch as he turns around.
As he turns around, it was a very, very tiny netting.
And I think that's why he feels that he didn't touch the net.
Yeah, because it was very tiny and it happened as he was turning, which is sometimes hard to feel. And Elijah comes in with an attack, and that is swallowed by the blockers.
Is it me, or do I feel like the sets Elijah is getting are not high enough for him, and he seems to be getting the ball slightly below his arm as he doesn't get a full swing, and it makes him look like he's coming in a sluggish way, but the way he comes to attack in 4 is different from the way he comes to attack from the backcourt. So I feel the ball is a bit short for him.
and the ball is a little bit short and off net.
Yes.
But then Emakato comes in, still do wonders in his offensive play, and
Yes.
he looks for those tiny spaces wherever you don't put the block. He knows what to do with the ball. He tries to execute that ball very well, and he gets the point for the Ndejje side.
Yes, and of course, this is a service strategy from Ndejje, bringing in a Wafula to serve, Wafula being the middle, and it's a service strategy really. But that's a good pick from Elijah. Quick swing from Ijongat. Ball is kept alive. That's a wonderful play from Emakato. The setter going to Carlos. Oh, that ball is inside.
Yeah, that was a very good play from Carlos, but I think the setter couldn't get the right height for Carlos, because Carlos is one of the players who really attacks very high balls, and that was quite a short set, and I think that is why he chose to reduce the energy and just place the ball.
Yes, and Kcca, look at that, the set, the point lead, 4-point lead is very tough in men's games in a decisive. If it's ladies, at least you could feel someone could go and serve hard and get the points. But for men's game, it mostly relies on your net defense. If you don't have good net defense for men's games, you tend to struggle in the catch-up.
Yeah, in most times, for men, the high chances stand with the receiving team. The receiving team tends to be having more chances of scoring than the defending team.
Yes.
Especially for teams that are actually having the same strength, like we can see Ndejje and Kcca.
Yeah, so that means even if the Kcca were to lose this point, if they serve to them, they have a higher chance of breaking immediately than Ndejje, who is in the service box. Oh, another service error from
Carlos.
Service error from Carlos on. Yeah. I think at this moment Carlos needs to learn to just send that service. So, but he looked at that point lead. I think they need to get to 8 at the moment, and their defense is working. So that is something to think about. The setter going for the dump.
Is well picked, and also Chitosi goes for the same. But now Elijah comes in with a swing. The ball is blocked down by Joel and Martin.
I feel like, once again, I'm going to talk about his swing. It's not looking like, you take a look again at that swing from him. The ball is off. You can see he's trying to go to the line.
Yeah, and the contact of the ball is a little bit low. And now we see the point stand at 5-7. If Ndejje makes this point, they will have actually reduced the pressure and will be piling pressure on the Kcca side.
Yes, and that's Emakato now going after Elijah, who just made an error. The setter gives him the ball. He's shut down again. I think that is something that I think Chol should have seen that, because the attacker just struggled. And I feel like at this point we could see Ronald, who we last saw in the second set. We could see him coming back on, and we see the coach has called him to that bench to have a chat, so we could see him coming on. But we have not seen Naptal all this game, and at the start of this season, Naptal was the go-to setter, the number one setter for the team.
Yeah, a double substitution. Now we are
Kcca is changing the sides. They get that point, that point.
That was an error from Emakato, I think.
Yeah.
He took that service out. He had no reason to really lose this service. He had already served so well, and Kcca was struggling to score. I don't know why he was now looking for that tight angle. He literally needed to still keep giving Kcca the ball, because the defense was doing great. But then he messes up in the service, and now that gives Kcca a 2-point lead as they change their sides at 8-6.
Yeah, Kcca was planning to make a substitution, but we see they've decided not to make it, and Elijah now going into the service box. I think the substitution was meant to come in on the front court, but now Elijah going to the service box. The coach prefers to keep him there. He decides to go for his jump service again.
And that's a very big swing from Martin.
I think Ijongat should have seen that coming. Catch was on the setter's head. He didn't jump. Let's take a look again. He didn't commit on his person.
And even Waiswa should have committed.
Yeah, you can see he jumps late, and he jumps almost taking away the hands.
Exactly. And
he didn't
Martin
commit.
attacks that ball down very, very hard. He really wastes no chance.
Oh, big swing, big dump there from Ijongat. And that's a good decision from the
Sure,
setter, yeah, to go to the middle, because he hadn't put a ball there, and you can see, yes, Martin went up, but he sort of seemed like surprised to see that ball there.
Yeah, they really went up very late. Yeah, though he took a very high block, but it came in very late, so he couldn't be able to defend that ball. But that's a wise attack on the block by Rose. He waits, he hangs and waits for that block to go up. He puts in a lazy swing and he manages to get a block touch. And still Ndejje is trying to actually reduce the point gap. Now it is 1 point. Very good service from Martin. Good pick from Waiswa. And he comes in with a dump. Picked by Emakato. And then Fairouz comes in. A very, very tight set. And
Yes,
that is an error from Joel.
And Kcca is trying to keep themselves at a 2-point lead for
This is the chance actually Ndejje had to level the points. Because the setter was actually on no pressure. He really had to set that ball very well. Fairouz had pulled out very, very perfectly, but the set was very tight.
And take a look at that Ndejje front court. I think if Kcca has a chance to if Kcca gets a chance on the reception, it would be very wise for the setter to play that ball to Owen in the middle.
Yeah, that is true. Wherever he gets the ball from, it is a very, very high reach. And from the start of this actually like 2 sets ago, or the previous 2 sets, he was actually not being blocked down.
Yes, and that's because he's having Wafula Kevin there. Of course, I'm not saying take a look at that. That is what we are talking about. He's having Wafula Kevin there. This is someone who should be moving with Martin on the front court.
Yeah, that is very true. Right now he's moving with a weaker center blocker on the Ndejje side. And then we see a substitution coming in for service, I guess.
Yeah, and for Wise, so I think also on the defense as well. And we haven't seen Ronald since the second set, so yes. So hopefully he is able to play. But I think Ndejje still has got this. It's just 2 points behind, and we've seen them fight to get to this 5th set to get a point. And take a look at that big swing. Owen doesn't grab his man.
Now we see both teams trying to play the ball through the middle.
I think he didn't expect it.
Yeah, he didn't expect that. It was a very, very good joiner by Joel, and the center blocker was there. The center attacker was there. His attacker was very ready, knowing that the set is coming, and then Owen was still down trying to join.
Yes, and the substitution has been reversed. Waiswa is back on Owen. This time it's a small touch.
And
but that is
a carry.
Yeah, the referee calls a carry on Chitosi, and of course we can't quite say if it was a carry or not. I think we just have to go with the referee's decision, because we can't hear the sound of the play on that ball.
Yeah, this is a decision that can only be taken by the referee. It is judgmental. If the referee really feels that this is a carry, you cannot actually argue, because for him, he will have seen a carry. It is his judgment.
Yes. And
Kcca in the lead, 12-10. We are actually entering to the points whereby it is very tight towards the end of the set. The set is in the climax, and now whoever concentrates more will take this. What an attack, brother!
The young guy is now just bringing in the swings. The swings are coming in, but I think Kcca needs to play tit for tat, because the swings are coming in, but the blocks are not on both sides. Through the middle.
Don't you think that also Chol will do the same?
Yes, I probably think if the reception is good, he could do the same. But now Martin is on the front court, moving with Ijongat. So, very easy score for Elijah. Very, very easy. He just sends that ball over. But I think
he spins that ball onto the back court side of the court towards the end line. And that is a block zone, and it is very, very hard for the defenders to defend that ball.
Yeah, but if you saw that replay, it's a spin, but it seems to be a little bit fast. It's a spin, but it's fast. Yeah. And
And
that
it is a wise attack from Elijah, surely. The set was low. It wasn't the best. It was a big set, but he manages to get a point from that.
yeah, this time Carlos getting that service on. Oh, good touch on the block there, but Sharif unable to keep it in play. Wonderful play from Martin. But look at the scores. We are just moving point by point, but Kcca still holding on to that 1 point lead. And I think that having that big lead that they started with is what is keeping them here.
Yeah,
And
that is very true, because the lead was killed down by Ndejje. And
But-
if they were actually moving point per point from the start, right now Ndejje would be leading.
yes, it's a good catch. The setter goes to Carlos. Big block. It's chance for Ndejje. They
Emakato
go to
comes in with a
Emakato.
spin.
Shut down. 3-man block. Chol, Elijah and Ijonga. I think the setter didn't expect it. I didn't expect a 3-man block on that backcourt on Emakato. And I want to go back and see how that 3-man block just came on. You can see Chol also moves later. Wonderful play. But that is Ijongat that gets that.
And Makato really looked disappointed in that. Perhaps maybe he feels the setter chose the wrong option for him to be the one attacking that point, that
Yes.
ball. And if I have a feeling like actually Chitosi's front court, right?
Yes, he would have
be
been
a
the
better
best option.
Because in this kind of play, even the set they took, Ronnie was actually a very, very big pillar. He changed the game. He knew what to do whenever actually the points were closed up towards the end of the set. And right
Yes.
now it must have been a wrong decision by the setter to.
Yes, and
to
also
go back.
Emakato really wanted to go hard on that swing. He didn't. I think he also didn't see it was a 3-man block
Yeah, it
because
is
the
very
block
hard if
joins
you've already
later.
jumped, yeah.
Yes,
So by the time he chooses to go at a tight angle, the blockers had already set in.
yes.
And now KCCA is on the set point.
It's match point actually.
Actually, match point, yeah.
It is match point for KCCA. If they take this, they go away with it. Elijah going into service, and he's a jump server. I want to see how relaxed and calm he is going to be in this moment. Is he going to jump serve or?
Yeah, he's jump serving.
He goes for it, and he gets
goes
it
for
to
a
happy.
spin.
Oh,
Rene comes in with a hard attack, but well defended, and he comes in with a very
oh,
good attack.
it's still
Very
alive.
good defense by Elijah. But
Yeah.
the ball couldn't be put up high enough.
And now this, and now this is the testament to Ndejje's defense, net defense.
Yeah, you're very right.
Yeah,
Ndejje is serving, Rene is into service, and KCCA has options of attack.
I can't say anything now. I can't even say we are going 14-14 or anything.
The ball comes in for
It's
He
over.
gets that onto the block.
It's over.
Yeah.
KCCA takes it.
KCCA have really fought for this. They tended to relax in the set that Ndejje took. Ndejje really fought on very well to close up their points in the fourth set, whereby they were led by 6 points, but they kept on fighting and fighting and fighting. They managed to win the set.
Yes, I think it was a great fight from both sides. Of course, KCCA starting 1 set down and then taking 2 sets, and then Ndejje being a set down and also pushing and going to the decisive. And it's better to have something than go away with nothing. So Ndejje having that 1 point that they are going away with, it's a good addition because, and of course, KCCA as well taking 2 points despite coming in this game wanting 3 points as well. It's been a beautiful game from both sides. The fights, the blocking. I enjoyed the blocking in this game. Both sides were really, really on that net.
Yeah, the defense was really on point. It was very, very good. There was a very, very good fighting. Ndejje being led by 5 points, but they managed to actually close up the gap to 1 point. But KCCA still went into that driving seat as they managed to still have the lead in points, and they maintained their lead up there of 2 points, and finally they managed to go away with the game.
Yeah, but look at KCCA continuously minimizing their errors in the game, now having 3 errors. And Ndejje, I think Ndejje has just lost this game because of the errors that they made. Yeah, but otherwise they would have had it, because at the start in the first set the errors were quite few, but they
made very many errors at the
start
of
in
the
the
set.
first set, but I think KCCA as well made errors, but they had better blocks, more blocks than KCCA.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But I think it has been a wonderful game to enjoy. This is how a game at such a time should be. Otherwise, we would also maybe struggle to bring it to you. But I think it was a wonderful evening. I've enjoyed working with you, Coach Malik, on this commentary.
Yeah, it is a pleasure. And all our viewers out there, whoever has been watching, please keep watching in. We are very happy to bring these games to you. And Isaac was saying Ndejje is taking this. KCCA has said no. Whatever Isaac, you were thinking KCCA is saying no, that is not true. The win is actually going to the Kcca boys. And as they take this game on 3-2. But also Ndejje manages to go away with a point, which is very good for them because it really looked like they were going to lose this game at 3-1, but they managed to fight on, and that 1 point is very, very crucial in terms of how the table stands. And very, very good fight, very entertaining game, and it was really balanced. Both teams really fought on well. I think what we really expected to see is what we got. And let's keep up tuned onto the channel. Tomorrow we shall be having the games coming in the whole day. Quite 5 fixtures in for that day, and it will be an interesting Sunday. So whoever can't come in through to Old Kampala to enjoy the games, please keep tuned into the Sports channel as the games will be live broadcasted to you. Thank you very much, and a good evening to you all.